Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NFL Weekly Picks with your boy B Buck, Mr. Tom Maria Sports, joining us momentarily. Back again for another crazy week of NFL picks. There he is. What's up, brother?
Big Buck, what's going on? How you doing?
Doing great, brother. Doing great. Hope you are as well.
Yeah, trying to recover after a couple tough weeks, but we're here.
No, not too bad, guys. We'll get to that in a second. As you can see, we're back for another weekly picks video. NFL Week 16. I don't know if you can see it there. There it is. Moving right along, getting towards the end here. Let's finish strong. Before we get into the picks, guys, last week I went 26 of 48, 2 or 3 on the confidence. Not bad, not bad. Happy to get above 25. Thought I was going to get a 30. I want to hit at least 130 this year, but not a bad week. Mr. Tom, 20 of 48. Only thing that really got him was the point spread. But besides that, not bad compared to the week prior. I'm pretty sure we were both sub 20. But we've only had 2, maybe 3 bad weeks out of 16 so far, guys. So let's have another great one here for you. There's some tricky great games on this week's slate of games. And we got a Thursday, 2 Saturdays, and a whole bunch of Sunday games for you. So no time to waste. You ready, Mr. Tom?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it.
Week 16, 2025 NFL season, guys, kicks off with the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks fighting it out, top of the NFC West in Seattle, night game Thursday night. Possibly game of the week, Mr. Tom, just to kick off the week. Look at this. I know Tom's gonna have some intricate insight on this game. Obviously, I'm a Niners fan. I would like for both teams to lose, but I think the Rams might be without Devontae Adams this week, guys. They looked a little better last week. Seahawks took care of business. One team's got to lose, and it's very crucial for both them to get a win as far as seeding in the NFC West standings. But call me crazy. Call me crazy this week. I think the Seahawks might pull this one out for one reason. Playing in Seattle, night game is always tough. You know what I mean? The Rams showed they lost to the Panthers. Seahawks, they look vulnerable a little bit, even against the Colts last week, but still a solid team. But I think the Seahawks might pull this one out, guys. If you know more about this game than there's money to be made in it because it's basically a pick 'em. As far as over under 42.5, I know me and Tom always say the Thursday night games go over. I know both these teams are very capable of putting up points. So just for that fact, I'm going to take the over. And since I'm taking the Seahawks to win, obviously minus 1.5 isn't hard to do. But to beat the Rams would be a feather in anyone's hat. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, so here's my intricate analysis for you. The weather is interesting right now in Seattle. I've been hearing a heavy wind, rain. Now, it might subside a little bit before kickoff. We'll see, but definitely something for everyone out there who's betting. Keep an eye on that. That's why the over-under is only 42.5, which is low, I think, for a game like this, right? And I think part of that has to do with it. Also, like you said, Devontae Adams, he's doubtful. It doesn't look like he's going to play. If he does, he's probably going to be a shell of himself anyways, so that'll be interesting there. I think they hold him out, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think Seattle's going to win this game. Long story short, their defense has been playing better. They're at home. Rams are obviously a little bit banged up. I think Seattle comes out and gets the win here. So I'm going to take the minus 1.5. The over-under is tough because of the elements, but I'm going to ride it again, like I said last week, and it hit. These Thursday overs have been hitting most of the season, and I'm just going to take what's the theme of what's happened all season. So I'm going to take the over 42.5 here, and I'm going to take Seattle money line to get a huge division victory and really, really shake things up in the NFC West.
These Thursday games have been crazy, man. And we'll touch on that a little bit more when we get to the Bucks game. But moving on, guys, after the Thursday night game, this week, week 16, there's 2 Saturday games. You know that late this time in the season, later in the season, they start to throw some Saturday games in there. Philadelphia Eagles taking on Washington Commanders in Washington at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Eagles, they played the Raiders last week, easy win there. They won by 11.5, more than 11.5, getting back to their old selves. Commanders, kind of nothing really to play for at this point in the season. Even though they're home, I think the Eagles take care of business this week. I can see them winning by more than 6.5. I'm going to circle it because maybe there was a lot of talk about the Eagles, and the NFC race is really close right now. If they can win by more than 7 here against a division rival and improve their seeding or solidify their seeding, it would be a statement. And if I can see that, I'm sure they can see that as well. So winning by 7 will be impressive. I know they're capable of doing it against the Commanders, who I'm pretty sure were shut out last week or the week before. And so we got the Eagles winning by more than 6.5. That's my thoughts. As far as over under 44.5, oh man, which Mariota is going to show up? It's the one who put up points against the Broncos, tough defense, or the one who didn't put up anything against the Vikings. I'm actually going to go under here for some reason, guys, which is weird because I feel like if the Eagles win by 7, it's because their offense is clicking. But what do you think, Tom?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't hate that pick. I'm going to zag on you, though. I'm going to take the Eagles minus 6.5. I think maybe they found a little something against Vegas last week, and that can carry over against another bad defense, Washington. We'll see, but I like them at the 6.5 spot. I think they went by around a little over a touchdown, maybe 10 points. I like the over 44.5. I think some points will be scored, and I expect maybe some garbage time stuff from Washington. But I like the Eagles to get a pretty reasonable, easy road win on a shorter week against a team that's really not playing for much but pride at this point.
And then the Eagles to win outright. All right, I respect it. All right, guys, another fun one. Ready for this? Number 1 seed, Bears, if I'm not mistaken right now, taking on the Packers in a crucial must-win for both teams. Packers got a little banged up last week. Where are they at? The Packers. Where were they? Up in the top, the bottom? Where the fuck were they? Oh, they took on the Broncos, but they lost, got a little beat up. Yeah, And then the Bears ended up taking care of business against the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. Back to business. Here's these two teams facing again, and it's a pick 'em, guys. It's in Chicago. I know the Packers beat them last time they played, and that one was in Green Bay. I don't blame anyone, and the smart money might be Packers plus 1.5. Do mind you, Parsons is out. I think they lost an offensive lineman, and me and Tom were talking about Watson's status. They lost a lot of players last week. But I'm taking the Bears at home. Bears are one of those teams all year. You never know who's going to show up. They could come in and win this by 14. I'm going to take them to win at home. I'm going to take them to win by 1.5. Split the series this year. It's only right because both these teams are pretty equal. As far as 46.5, though, both these defenses aren't terrible. I'm going to go under. That's rare 2 unders for me at the first 3 games. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to go the under as well. Let me start there. I love that pick at the under. I think it's going to be classic NFC North rival type of game. Packers coming off a tough loss, tough injuries. Wonder what their mental is going to be like without Parsons. And I think the Bears, I watch a lot of the post-game stuff when teams win because I love the coach speeches and all that stuff. And the Bears, after they won, obviously they beat Cleveland pretty handily. But one of the players, I can't remember who it was, but someone had a game ball and he talked right away about how all they could think about was next week and how they still had a bad taste in their mouth from Green Bay. I think they probably feel like they should have won that game.
It was close.
And I don't blame them. That was a close game. They were right there. It came down to the very end. Caleb could have thrown a touchdown to tie it, maybe win it on a 2-point conversion. They almost won in Green Bay when they were at full strength a few weeks ago. Now Green Bay comes into their home banged up. Chicago's still playing well. I like them here at home. I like the spot. I'm taking them minus 1.5, and I'm taking the money line, of course. I think the Bears are going to win here. I think they win by a field goal or more, and I think it should be a fun game, but I like Chicago to pull it out.
All right, guys, going into the Sunday slate of games at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Buffalo Bills traveling to Cleveland. 2 cold teams getting it on in Cleveland. 2 tough teams going at it. When I was looking at this game, everything was screaming give Cleveland the 10.5 for some reason. But as I was thinking about it more and more, I feel like the Bills could beat them by 10.5. And, Myles Garrett's only a sack or 2 away from setting the record. The defense still there. Offenses look good at times. I know they just lost to the Titans not long ago and then lost to the Bears last week. I want to give the Cleveland 10.5, so this isn't my most confident pick, but I am going to take the Bills minus 10.5. Big win for them, must win for them, I'm sure Tom would say, in the AFC race over there, especially after beating the Patriots last week. Bills to win outright, obviously, but I am going to take the over because I know the Bills can put up points even against the Browns defense, and the Browns offenses look better with Sanders under center.
I'm with you. I'm taking Buffalo minus 10.5 now. It'll be interesting, right? What Buffalo team's going to show up? Will it be the Buffalo team that lost, to Atlanta, to Miami, right? Or the Buffalo team that showed up in the first half of that Patriots game, or the other team, right? The team that showed up in the second half, the team that came back against Cincinnati, right? Like, Buffalo's kind of been this up and down team. But when they are playing their best, they can definitely beat Cleveland by 2 scores or more. So I like minus 10.5. Like you said, they know they got to win this game, and they're trying to win the division. Maybe get a 1 seed if things go their way, although it doesn't seem likely with the way Denver's played. But yeah, I like the minus 10.5. I'm going to take the over with you as well. I think this one will hit, and then I like Buffalo money line on the road.
It's funny because you were just saying that because Houston's good defense gave the Bills problems and sacked Allen all night, and that was on the road, and it was a night game. But, Houston's defense is a whole different animal.
It is, yeah, for sure. I mean, but Brown's defense just got absolutely carved up by Tennessee 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then last week by Chicago, they gave up 30 points, I'm pretty sure. So,
I think this could... What happened?
They've looked pretty vulnerable the last couple weeks.
It's funny. Maybe the general public was thinking what I was thinking. Your first gut instinct is give the Browns the 10.5 at home. Cold game. Defense is there. It could be a trap for all we know. Anything could happen. Browns can end up winning this game, but watch the Bills come out and win this game by like 2-3 scores or something. We'll see. We spoke our piece on that one. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers for the lead in the AFC South. Neither of these teams could take care of business last week, guys, in a must-win. I blame it on the creamsicle jerseys. They look good, but they never seem to play good in them or like win games when they wear them. Guys, me and Tom have been calling it all season. The Panthers have been the most up and down, unpredictable team in the league, possibly. With that said, the Buccaneers started the season hot and haven't looked good in the second half of the season. So Mike Evans looked good. He was back. I know, a few people got banged up and everything. Irving's back. Buccaneers are favorited. They should technically win this on paper, but guess what? It's in Charlotte. Panthers just lost to the Saints last week. One that they should have won, and they know this is the team they're versing. We're going to see these two teams play each other twice in the next 3 weeks. This is one of them. I'm taking the Panthers to win at home, just like we took the Panthers to win against the Rams, giving the Panthers the +3 at home. And since it's over under 45.5, I feel like it's a little high. I was talking to Tom about this for both of these teams, so I feel like they know something we don't. I'm taking the over, and I think it blows it out the water because for it to be that high, Panthers have a decent secondary. Bucs have a decent defensive line and linebackers. For it to be that high, unless the weather changes something in Charlotte, keep an eye on that. I feel like it can go over. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I love that pick, but just for fun. Zach, just for fun. I'm going to take Panthers +3, but I'm going to take the under. I think this might be a weird game where there's not a ton of points scored, and it ends up being in like the 21-17 or 24-20 type of range where it gets real close. But I don't feel super confident about it. Just want to zag a little bit. And also, I do think both these offenses have struggled a little bit at times, been very up and down. But I'm going to take Panthers money line. I think what's going to end up happening here is they're going to split these last 2 games where, Tampa wins this one, then loses the last one, or because they play twice the next 3 weeks. So I think they're going to end up splitting it, and I feel like Carolina at home, coming off a loss, they're up and down, like we said all year. This next week will be the week that they get back up, right? So I think they'll win this week at home, and we'll see how the division plays out. But I'm going to take Carolina here. The only zag I got with you is the under. Okay,
so the Panthers money line, you said?
Yep.
Guys, me and Tom were saying, look at this whole week slate of games. I think I count 11 point spreads of 5 or less, not even a full touchdown. It's a lot of close, very important seeding, like playoff seeding implication games this week. There's money to be made. There's also money to be lost, so be careful. LA Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. Why they're underdogs and they keep getting disrespected week after week is beyond me. I think the Cowboys right now are sitting with 1% chance of making the playoffs, so they're going to need to rely on people losing, and I'm assuming obviously must win for them in this game at home. Chargers can get it done, guys. I'm giving the Chargers the points right off the rip. I like the way they've played so far this year. Their defense, not bad. I know the Cowboys, they've dropped one, I'm pretty sure last week, to the Vikings of all teams. But me and Tom did kind of call how the Vikings defense has looked a little better. Over under 49.5 is a little high just for the Chargers offense. Cowboys offense obviously capable of putting it up. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under even if it ends at like 45, just to be safe. I don't like Chargers overs that high like throughout the whole season. But I'm taking the Chargers to win outright, guys. Especially at plus 110 odds, money line. I don't see why they're underdogs in this one. What do you think, Tom?
I agree. I agree on everything. I think this over-under is way too high. Now, if it hits, it hits. I won't be so surprised, but I think Chargers defense has looked really good the last few weeks against Philly and Kansas City. Granted, offenses that have had some challenges, but still good teams. And I just think that they're still playing for a chance at the division here. It's not likely, but they're undefeated in the AFC West. They're 5-0. They have one more matchup against Denver. If they can win out and get Denver to lose one or two games, including the loss to them, they're playing for that, right? So, and I think if they win this game, they'll clinch a playoff spot too. So I like the Chargers in this. Cowboys seem to be reeling a little bit. I like the under here for 9.5. I think a lot of field goals will be kicked this game, but I like the Chargers to win outright in Dallas.
All right, guys. Minnesota Vikings traveling to New York to take on the Giants. They kind of screwed us last week, and me and Tom even said we were surprised they were favorited, even against the Commanders coming off a shutout. The Commanders ended up winning the game, costing us a pick as well. It's tough when you bet on these teams that really aren't in the playoff race anymore. And then the Vikings, for that matter, not sure what their situation is. They have looked a little better recently, but I don't know if they can technically make the playoffs. I'm actually going to take the Vikings to win outright. I'm going to give the Giants the +3 because I'm trying to get my picks. I don't care nothing about betting this game. More power to you if you are going to bet on this game, but I'm going for picks in this one, and this is just my opinion. Vikings to win outright, Giants getting the points. As far as over-under 43.5, Giants have been in a lot of high-scoring games this year, and their defense isn't really what you should be. I know the Vikings defense is good, but hey, look at the Giants' points per game offense. It's actually not bad. It might be top 10. I'm taking the over 43.5, even in a cold New York game. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I like the Vikings -3. I just thing I worry about with the Giants, and last week I should have known, but they were coming off a bye. They were playing a weak Washington team that had just got shut out, so I thought they could win that game. But their coaching is basically non-existent at this point, right? Like Kafka is their head coach. They've already fired their D coordinator. They fired another coach. Like they're an absolute mess right now. They probably are going to win one of these last few games. They play the Raiders, I think, next week. I don't know who the hell wants to watch that. It's basically the #1 pick bowl.
Oh my God.
But that's the difference between these two teams, not let alone talent, but also coaching. And I think that's going to be a main separator. And I should have known that last week. With even Washington being a mess, they still have their coaches intact. So I like Minnesota -3. The over-under, yeah, I'll take the over just because I think Giants' defense is bad, and they'll give up 30 points to pretty much anybody at this point. And I like Minnesota to get the win here in East Rutherford.
All right, guys, want to hear a fun one? Kansas City Chiefs officially eliminated from the playoffs for the first time since, I think, 2016-17. I know, we've been calling it for years now. Taking on the Tennessee Titans at home, who also snapped their one-game winning streak last week against the Niners. The Chiefs, guys, unless Gardner Minshew, how much time did he get reps with one team, a team in practice before last week's Mahomes out for the season injury? I like the Titans in this game, guys. Call me crazy, at least you call me. I'm taking the Titans to win outright. The odds really don't imply anything too insane. +145. That's not like, if it was like +250, all right, maybe. But Titans are going to win this game against the Chiefs. I'm calling it now. At home, they've put up points the last few weeks. They've looked better in recent weeks. Getting 3 at home. Cam Ward throwing touchdowns to his D lineman from 40 yards out scrambling. Pretty impressive. And then also as far as 37.5, man, that's not much. That's the only reason that number's so low is because Gardner Minshew's playing for the Chiefs offense. It's very low. It's very low, but I'm gonna take the under. Every time I see it this low, people are tempted to take the over. I'm going under, trying to get another over-under pick under my hat. But I like the way the Titans have looked recently, and I think the Chiefs should start packing it up for this year. What do you think, Tom?
Let's go Titans. Let's go Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been picking the Chiefs by default for the last 2 years, and it worked great last year when they were 15-2, and this year it's not work good, but honestly, I'm happy to get a year away from them. They'll be fine. I bet they'll come back next year and be right back in the playoffs. So, Chiefs fans, don't be too worried. You still have arguably the best foundation in the NFL between GM, coach, and quarterback. That being said, Titans get this one, +3. I like them in this spot at home. I like the over as well, over 37.5. I think Titans have been getting up a lot of points the last few weeks. They've been scoring more points. Chiefs now at this point are playing for pride, so it'll be interesting to see how they do with Minshew at quarterback. But I like the Titans at home. I think they get the win, so I'm going to take their money line, and I think this will end up being somewhere not super high scoring, but mid to high 20s for both teams in a relatively close game.
Dude, if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to go back and research it. That might be our first Titans money line pick of the 2025 pick season. And against the Chiefs. So what a crazy year it's been.
Yeah, then you sit there on a one-game winning streak.
Dude, yeah, they snapped their one-game winning streak. Guys, I want Tom to take this one first because it's two teams that he's been very smart on throughout the year, and he, of all people, was one of the ones who called the Dolphins' resurgence recently. I know they lost last week. Tua was notoriously not good in the cold, but we've got this.
Too.
Yeah. I know. I was going to say, I think we picked the Steelers. That was good. But before that, the Dolphins were winning more games than they have in the beginning of the season. So this is an interesting game here, guys. We got Bengals -4.5 in Miami. What's your thoughts on it, Tom?
Well, Quinn Ewers is starting over Tua. I don't know if you saw that or not. I sent it in the fantasy chat.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, Tua got that. So that makes it really interesting now. I would expect Dolphins defense to play a little bit better with the rookie quarterback playing. With that all being said, I'm going to take Dolphins +4.5.
Wow.
I think they get that little rookie bump. We saw it with Jackson Dart this year. We've seen it with other guys who have come in on their first start and played decent. I don't really believe in Ewers as a long-term fit, but I do think he might give the team a little bit of a surge, so I'll keep it close. With that being said, I like the under 47.5, but I'm going to take the Bengals money line. I think they end up pulling this game out, but I do think it's going to be like a field goal, weird type of close game where the Dolphins are able to stay in it, but the Bengals end up winning.
Dude, that's terrifying because if there was ever, you always give the Bengals the points, and here they're -4.5 favorites against the Dolphins. I didn't know Tua wasn't playing. Achane, obviously capable of going off any week. Burrow, I know they were shut out last week against not the best Ravens defense, and there was all that talk at the end about his motivation being gone. Dolphins have looked better. Man, I almost thought the Dolphins were going to... I kind of like what Tom said. Right away, I'm going to give the Dolphins 4.5 because I feel like they can keep it close. They've been in games, besides the Steelers game. But I can see the Bengals, routing them in this one. 47.5 is a little high. It is in Miami. Only difference is I'm probably going to take the over. I'm going to take a chance here and take the over and hope. I know the Bengals can put up 24 points and hope the Dolphins can put up 24 points. But same with Tom. I'm going to give the Dolphins the points, but take the Bengals to win outright. I know one of those is going to hit. New York Jets, New Orleans Saints. Ew. In New Orleans. But hey, I can't even say that though because Shucks has changed the culture in New Orleans. I've called it all season. They might have had one of the toughest schedules, and they played all these very tough teams very good. They beat the Panthers last week. Their defense hasn't played horrible all year. And now here they are, having the Jets, Brady Cook-led Jets, in New Orleans. I can see why they're favorited. I'm taking the Saints to win this game. Saints to win by 4.5. No disrespect to the Jets. I just think the Saints have played better. But guess what, guys? I'm actually going to take the over 40.5. Indoor elements this time of the year. Brady Cook, not the best, but obviously Shuck can put up points. We'll see how that one turns out. What do you think, Tom?
Who dat?
Yeah.
Who dat? Saints. Yeah, I'm taking the Saints here. I'm riding with New Orleans. They beat Carolina and Tampa on the road, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 weeks. Two teams playing for their division.
Wow.
So, yeah, New Orleans, this is a game they definitely should win. They've played really well. Shuck has been good. I think I said it on last week's episode. He's been, playing better than I think he's been getting credit for, especially when you turn on the tape. I like the Saints -4.5. I like the over 40.5, and I like the Saints money line. We're totally aligned on this one.
Oh, shucks. Here comes that man again. He's coming.
Now watch. They'll throw 3 picks and they lose by 2.
Hey, that is a very real possibility. But it is the Jets. So, 2 bad luck teams working against it. Well, I will say, though, And I said it like week 3, 4, or 5. Finally showing some love for the Titans and Saints, guys. Everything comes full circle. It's been a very interesting NFL season. And even for us here on the Picks series. Going into the 4 p.m. slate of games, ready for this. Jacksonville Jaguars, 5-game winning streak. Tom said it right here in our series. They've looked better. Denver Broncos, 11, count them up, 11-game winning streak in a row. Almost unheard of in the NFL. In Denver, -3 favorites. Jaguars, amazing team. Look better, defense good, offense clicking. Broncos, not looking the best, but getting it done, I should say. More defensively than offensively. I'm taking the Broncos to win outright. I don't know if they win by more than 7, guys, but I think they win by more than 3, so I'll take them -3, but I think it's going to be a close, fun game. We'll see how the Jaguars do in the cold. As far as over-under 46.5, let's not sleep on that Jaguars defense, guys. I'm taking the under. I'm hoping for a defensive battle this late in the season in the cold. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, who would have thought a Jaguars-Broncos game in December would be this fun on paper, right? Like, shout out to both these franchises. You had the Jaguars going into the season. I kind of jumped on their bandwagon a little bit later, but their defense looks legit. Their offense, Trevor Lawrence, best game of his career last week, maybe, right? That being said, I think Denver's too tough in Denver, and they've been rolling. They had a huge win of their season last week against Green Bay. I like it to continue. Taking Denver -3, taking the under 46.5, and I'm taking the Denver Broncos money line to get another win. And I think it would be their 11th straight win, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So I'm taking Denver. They're playing for a 1 seed here, and they're going to get it done.
I do need to throw this out there, guys. Before the season started, me and Tom were saying how high the entire world was on the Broncos. And when they lost those first 2 games before their 11-game winning streak, we were giving them shit. We were like, they better turn this around. It's going to be the biggest disappointment of the season. Look at them now. They're in firm control of the AFC. Pretty crazy. Props to Denver.
You're right. You're definitely right.
Atlanta Falcons, Arizona Cardinals. I have a fun analysis for this one, guys, before we bring it over to Tom. Falcons have looked better recently. I said it a few weeks ago, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, that in the beginning of the season, their defense and their special teams was playing lights out. Looked very good with Penix there. I don't know if London's coming back this week. Cardinals are on like a 6-game losing streak. I know it's in Arizona. I know Brissett's putting up points with the Cardinals, but the Falcons have looked better. They played good against the Buccaneers under the lights, national game. I think this is a winnable game for them, but we will see which Falcons team showed up because they did get shut out to the Panthers, and they've had another kind of up and down season. Are we going to make it 7 straight losses for the Cardinals? Oh, that's rough, but I like the Falcons in this spot. I like the Falcons -3. And as far as over-under 48.5, man, you know what? I'm going over. I was just talking all that shit about the Falcons' defense being good, which they are, but a lot of these Cardinals games are high scoring, man. Their defense can't stop nothing, and Brissett puts up points, so maybe another high scoring game. And it is a pretty high scoring, high set point spread over-under to look at it, so maybe they expect another high scoring game. What do you think, Tom?
Look, I know we're trying to go through quickly, but I got to read a couple Cardinals facts for you. All right. They were 2-0. They are 1-11 in their last 12. They are 1-11 in their last 12 games. Not to mention, they've given up 40 points in 4 of the last 6 games to Seattle, the Niners, the Rams, and the Texans. Right? So some pretty good offenses, some decent offenses. They're a rough team, man. They're a rough team, and it's weird because you feel like they should be a little bit better than the way they're playing. All that being said, Falcons looked pretty decent last week. I loved what Kirk Cousins did against Tampa defense. I like the Falcons here. I'm going to take the hot hand now. They are another up and down team. I would not be shocked if they laid a fucking thinker here. But with that being said, I'm taking Atlanta -3. I'm taking the over 48.5. I think this will be a fun game that gets a lot of points scored, and I like Atlanta to get a win on the road.
Guys, I'm so glad you said that because I remember a few years ago, the Colts were just hitting overs nonstop, and I was betting on them like here and there. And then I think it was last year, the year before, the Eagles overs were always hitting because their offense was just playing lights out. Guys, you need to look for little things like that. I know over-unders are a little unpredictable as opposed to point spreads and money lines, but just quick Google search. Highest points per game and highest points allowed per game in the league. You know what I mean? I think I picked the Cardinals overs a lot throughout the season. I always reiterate every week, oh, they let up points. I'm looking right here. Last week, the over hit too. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of the Cardinals overs have hit this week. Not saying this week is, but I'm just saying a little extra research there to help you. Pittsburgh Steelers at Detroit Lions. Ooh, another fun one, but it's in Ford Field. It's indoors. The over-under is 51.5, even with the Steelers defense, and the Lions defense has shown glimpses this season. Me and Tom were saying it, guys. The Steelers look good. They could very well win their division, which is very cool, even over the Ravens. I'm giving them the 7. I might regret it because I will say the Lions all season have screwed the hell out of me. I pick them, they lose. I pick against them, they win. I'm giving the Steelers the 7 here just to be safe. As far as over under 51.5, oh man, that's rough. That's rough. I'm going under. I'm going under and hoping it stops at like 45 to 48 range. As far as who's winning, who the Lions play last week? They had the Rams. Oh, and you know what? They were kind of close against the Rams. That was a pretty close game. I'm going to take the Lions to squeak one out. But I think actually all these might hit. What if the Lions end up winning by 3? What do you think, Tom?
Lions win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. That has been their trajectory since they played the Bengals early this season in week 5. They lost last week. They're going to win this week. So we'll take the Lions money line. I love that bet. I'm going to take the Lions spread too. I don't know why.
Ooh.
I was thinking Steelers before, changing it up, just sitting here looking at this. I think Lions play so well at home. Steelers can be a bit up and down. They've won 2 big games in a row. I think they come back to earth a little bit in this one. So I like the Lions -7. And I'm going to take the under 51.5. I just think that this game's going to end up somewhere at around like the 30 to 17, 30 to 20 type of range where it gets real close to the edge, but I like Detroit to win and cover that 7-point spread.
Dude, I love that, bro. You just made my night because going with your gut is not only funner, but it feels better if it actually does hit, come Sunday night.
For sure.
All right, guys. Forced to be reckoned with Lions over there. Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Houston Texans. Ooh, tough pull for the Raiders. Texans at home, -1,200 to win 100 as outright winners. I'm going to say they win this game. I'm going to say, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, there has been one crazy upside. I think it was the Dolphins-Bills earlier this year, but I don't know if the number was that high. As far as 14.5, yeah, I can see it. But then, guys, look at this. They got the Texans winning by 15 points, but the over-under is only 37. So what is this going to be, just a straight shutout? Like a 30-0 win for the Texans? It very well could be. I've been saying it with the Texans because it's a scary team to bet on. They might be up and just let their defense do the rest of the heavy lifting, especially with 2 running backs. I'm going to say... Ready for this? I'm going to hope it works. I picked the under 37.5 in the Titans-Chiefs game. I'm picking under 37.5, very low scoring in the Texans game too. Maybe it'll be 21-0, 28-0. Who knows? What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I wonder how similar this game will be to last week when the Texans got out early. They jumped on Arizona, but then Arizona scored a bunch of garbage time points. They covered the spread, but the over ended up hitting. I kind of feel like it may end up being similar. 14.5 is high. It's really high, but Vegas is so bad. I'm taking Houston -14.5 here. I know Geno's back playing. Doesn't really change much. It might be worse than Pickett. Who knows? But I'm taking Houston -14.5. Going to take the over. I think it might be a little bit similar where Houston gets up early. Vegas scores some garbage time points. But the spread, the money line's up to 13.50 now. I know you said 1,200. It's at 13.50. So that is crazy.
Who the hell is making
Houston
that bet?
At home, must-win game for them. I think they get it done.
All right, Texans outright, guys. All right, as we're finishing up, ready for this fun Sunday night game? At least in 2008, this was a really fun game too. New England Patriots, Baltimore Ravens. Patriots, after riding high, underdogs in 2 straight games. They're very vulnerable. They are vulnerable. They're a winnable team. They can go far in the playoffs as far as Vrabel will take them, as far as that defense will take them, and as far as a mistake-free game out of Drake May will take them. Ravens looking better. I know they shut out the Bengals, but the Patriots are a whole different animal. I'm giving the Patriots the +3. I'm not losing faith just yet. They still have a great record. They're still a great team. Nighttime cold game. Both teams are prepared for that. I know it's a hostile environment in Baltimore, though. As far as over under 48.5, ready for this, guys? Rare Sunday night game, and I feel like this has screwed me. It's going over because I know the Patriots and the Ravens can both put up points. And as far as who's winning outright, I say the Patriots win by a field goal. I'm mystic crystal ball over here. I'm calling it. Couple underdogs this week. What do you think?
My analysis on this one.
Uh-oh.
Make it quick because we have a couple games left. One game left. Taking the Ravens to -3. I'm doing it. All year I've taken the Pats. I took them last week against Buffalo. Felt great about it for nearly 3 quarters. I think Baltimore might have found a little something last week at home. Still no Will Campbell. Still no Milton Williams for New England, which is huge. I like Baltimore -3. I like the under 48.5. I think this might be a throwback type of game. And I like Baltimore to get the win Sunday night at home.
All right, guys, Monday Night Football game to close out Week 16 of the 2025 NFL season is San Francisco 49ers traveling to Indianapolis Colts to take on Old Man Rivers, who didn't look too bad. He looked a little fat, but he didn't look too bad in his coming back debut with the Colts. With that said, this line's a little scary here, guys. They still have JT. They still have pieces. What? No. Listen, they still have JT, and the Niners' defense is very vulnerable. They can't tackle. They put up a lot of points. They let up a lot of points. They can't really stop the run. So this is a recipe for disaster. I think it's gonna be closer than people think. I can't not take the Niners because, as you might know, if you watch this video, I'm a Niners fan, and I'm gonna take them -6 and the over 46.5 because I know the Niners can let up points, and they have looked a little better chemistry wise on offense recently. I'm taking the over, but I can definitely see this game being close. I wouldn't mind giving the Colts the +6. Let's hear an unbiased opinion. What do you think, Tom?
Unbiased? Well, like you said, the Colts still have JT Dolan. For my Soprano fans out there. No, but yeah, Colts still have some talent. Their defense played the best maybe they've played all season last week in Seattle. That being said, I think the Niners are going to win this game pretty convincingly. I'm unbiased, but I'm with you in all of this. I'm taking San Francisco -6. I'm taking the over 46.5, and I like the Niners money line on the road. They're still playing for a playoff spot because the NFC is so tough and deep right now. And I think against Rivers, although there's not much of a pass rush for San Francisco, and that could cause problems, that's why I think Colts will be able to score some points. I expect the Niners to pull away probably later in the game, second half, and win this game pretty comfortably.
Niners notoriously, it didn't mean much in the Browns-Niners game, but the Niners notoriously have a bad record against the Colts. I don't know about playing in Indianapolis too, but it's a whole different season. Crazy season. Phillip Rivers is out of retirement playing. Who knows? All right, guys. Rhea's confident picks this week. We need some good ones. We got Chargers money line. Ooh, gutsy one right off the rip. I like it too, though. Eagles money line. I like that. But then your other one was Steelers +7, and you changed it up. So we need one more confident pick out of you, big dog.
Yeah, I know. I changed it up live. One more confident pick. I guess I'll do something spicy since Steelers +7 was somewhat spicy. I'm going to go Ravens -3.
Ooh, I like it. Another crazy one. All right, mine was ready for that. You want to hear spicy. Titans +3. Falcons money line against the Cardinals. And then let's see. I gotta pick one more. I like the Bucs Panthers to go over. That over under is a little high for me. I feel like it might even be like a 60-point game. We'll see.
I like it. My spiciness is rubbed off on you, my friend. I love it.
Dude, I feel really good. Very, very fun games to watch this weekend. Good luck to you, big dog. Good luck to everyone watching. Hope everyone has a great week for their teams, their families, safe before Christmas. Love doing this for you guys. We'll see you again soon next week. Mr. Tom, anything to say before we leave?
Guys, bet with your head, not over your head. Happy holidays. Love you all. Take care. See you soon.